Hello guys and welcome back to my channel for yet again another episode of my bag collection series. Today we are covering the illustrious house of Givenchy. So in 1952, Hubert de Givenchy, which we've talked about before in the Balenciaga video, launched his brand along with his partner. What was his name? Giovanni Robert Durfee, I believe. And they launched their first collection called Les Separables. They had this raw cotton material and they made puffy blouse. By the way, I look like Moira Rose today. Please don't read me. I'm kind of into it. So they made floaty skirts and puffy blouse, and automatically the New York Times, every fashion critic raved about the line. Even Vogue, the ultimate authority when it comes to fashion, said that it was the most wonderful first collection. And the New York Times dropped a very casual article called A Star is Born. So, you know, very low expectations there. Of course, there are a lot of parallels of similarities between the house of Balenciaga and Givenchy, because Hubert de Givenchy was Cristobal Balenciaga's protege. He taught him pretty much everything he knew, and to Hubert, Cristobal was like his icon. So you could see even to this day so many parallels, so many similarities in the ethos of the brands, in the mission statements of the brand. Throughout history, you really can't speak the name of one without the other. From designs to when they would present their collections, from literal geography, their addresses, they've always been very close, and journalists had a hard time kind of compartmentalizing the two different lines, and they even set some boundaries at one point. They said that they had to present their lines a month apart to make sure that they both got the acclaim that they deserved and not to influence the buy of one and the other. In 1969, Hubert started his own men's line. He opened his store on Avenue Georges V in Paris, and Mr. Balenciaga even advised Hubert to get his licenses to make sure to protect his haute couture collections. During this time, Givenchy also diversified in a very big way, from shoes to ties to houseware, from like tableware to upholstery. They actually became the official designers for Hilton hotels, which I know doesn't ring super Givenchy, but it was a big deal. Also, it's important to mention that Givenchy had one very, very special muse in the form of Audrey Hepburn. The relationship between the brand and pretty much one of the most famous fashion icons of all time was probably one of the most legendary collaborations of all time. From films like Sabrina to that classic, I believe they created the term little black dress when Audrey wore that black dress to Tiffany's and Breakfast at Tiffany's. That was, of course, a Givenchy dress. So she began as a client and became the muse of the house for 40 years, very casually. In 1988, Givenchy joined LVMH, and in 1995, he actually left the company and was succeeded by like these little unknown designers like John Galliano, Alexander McQueen, and Julian McDonald, you know. Do you like my joke there? Funny joke, right? Then in 2005, you had the arrival of Riccardo Tisci with the star collars and the Rottweiler prints, created incredible popularity, so many celebrities, especially in kind of the rap hip hop world. And the first woman designer creative director joined Givenchy in 2017, Claire Wright Keller, who of course was at Chloe before. She famously designed Meghan Markle's wedding dress when she married Prince Harry and left us this year, I believe in June. They introduced Matthew M. Williams to the house. Felt like the history was a little longer than my collection will be, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and without further ado, let's get cracking into this small little collection I have from the illustrious house of Givenchy. So why I did such a little focus on Riccardo Tisci, because all of my bags are from his reign at Givenchy, starting with, this is kind of an unexpected choice, or is it super expected if you know anything about me? What I really liked about Riccardo is that he had a lot of fun references. I'm probably speaking out of turn, but he was one of the first designers that I noticed to license Disney in his leather goods and his designs and his ready-to-wear. Now I feel like every brand and their cousin and their sister's cousin is doing so. In recent years, we've seen such a resurgence of more novelty and more of a playful attitude with fashion. But this was one of the first times I saw a Disney character at a luxury fashion house. And here you have half of Bambi on kind of, I don't know what they call this bag. It's their fourre-tout. It's their never full sort of moment. A lot of references in art as well. This era really reminds me of like the Jay-Z Magna Carta tour, you know what I mean? So I bought this to go on a trip to Walt Disney World. Shocker, I know. It's in pretty good shape. It looks kind of folded, but she hasn't seen love recently, but it's definitely a super practical bag, easy to wear. There's a million different sort of little nods to art and pop culture throughout Tisci's reign that featured from collection to collection. And I just really enjoy someone that pulls from things from my childhood. So this was something I had to get my hands on at the time. Now I feel like you can't throw a rock without hitting a Disney collaboration. But this was probably my first like luxury Disney piece. So half of Bambi, you know, very special. Next up, my little Pandora box. There's stuff on it in the back. There, she's perfect now. This was a bag I absolutely loved. This collection is when Givenchy did, I believe they did an entire ready-to-wear line that was black and red. And as someone that wears a lot of black and a lot of red, well, it inevitably spoke to me. This is a design that I really like. It's a harder shell, which is really fun. There's a couple different takes on the Pandora. There's one that's more angular and rectangular and softer, and then there's this one. And this one came with this beautiful guitar strap, which kind of screamed my name through the window when I first purchased it. It almost feels like a little precursor to the Dior saddle straps that Mario Grazia did, or even the Ritz Pochette or the reedition that Prada did. You know what I mean? Like a featured strap that really kind of made the bag. I really, really love this one. I wore it a ton, not so much anymore. That Ticci era has passed and we need kind of a couple years to marinate in something else before we return to it. I'm not sure if I would part with this bag, honestly, because it does feel so very Givenchy to me. And it's a great, great, easy piece to just pull and style with anything, again, red and black. It's a good size as well. It fits a ton, honestly. They also made it in the black and white for the strap. And yeah, it's just a really good, I fell in love with this bag in a big way. So even when I look at it now, I'm like, ooh, you're so pretty. And yeah, it's my little Pandora box. All right, and last but certainly not least, an icon of the house that is not here with me today. This is the first time in all of these videos that I haven't had the bag with me. But you know, because of the coronavirus pandemic, we haven't traveled in a while, and unfortunately, this bag is living in Florida right now. It's retired. It is the Givenchy Antigona. I bought it. It's right here. I'm gonna put a photo. How about that? I bought it in the most gorgeous, super light, pastel, dusty, baby blue color. That's what sold me on it. The shape is kind of an incredibly popular shape for the brand. That and the Nightingale, I feel like, were their it bags for a very long time. A black Givenchy Antigona at the time felt kind of like the coolest bag a girl can own. It still is such a cool bag. I feel like it's kind of comparable to the motorcycle bag from Balenciaga. But again, this one spoke to me because of the color. I wonder if I have a photo wearing it. If so, I will put it here as well. One thing I will say about this bag is though the hardware on Balenciaga bags is so beautiful, very, very like industrial. It feels like a big fat zipper. I don't know if I have anything to show you. I can't really show it to you guys. I don't have any. But it feels like a very, very significant thick zipper, but they use very shiny hardware, which is beautiful. But I find that hurts my knuckles. When I was unzipping my Antigona, I would often kind of scrape my hand on the way in. It's heavy duty, that stuff, but it is really, really nice. I remember also having a hard time opening it and closing it, but maybe that was just my bag. I also purchased it on sale, which if you ask me, is also my favorite kind of incentive when buying a bag. Givenchy is one of those brands that leather goods often do go on sale. So if you have your eye on a bag, I definitely recommend that you wait and you be patient during sale season, and you'll definitely find something similar to what you want, at least at a really great price point. YSL does that a lot as well. The Antigona is definitely a classic bag from the brand, and I feel very lucky to have my own in the darlingest color. So yeah, that was a bit of a short one. I hope you guys enjoyed it regardless. Thank you so much for tuning in to yet another bag collection series episode. Of course, if you liked this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and comment down below to guess what will be up next week. Also, if you haven't subscribed already, I highly recommend you do so. It's a lot of fun over here, I swear. And on that note, thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one of the very final ones. So I'm pretty excited. Have a great one, guys.